I only have one gift. I tell stories. That's the only thing that I can do. So if you've ever been around me, you know that everything I do is through stories. And I hardly ever even have to borrow anybody else's stories because I've screwed up so many times. I realized that all he was ever doing was working and working and working and ending nowhere. Is that any of you? And in our book, we call that the journey from success to significance. And back in his life, he realized that the greatest thing in his life was that he was married to the love of his life, and he got it one day. And he understood that, and he understood that the kids that he had were such a gift. And he continued through all of that, and suddenly, this kid who stuttered starts this whole new life where talking is what he did for a living. And people actually stayed when he was done, and no one laughed anymore. And suddenly his life got better, he got his priorities straight, and when I woke up from that dream, I thought, this is so good, I'd like to write a book about that. And as I woke up, I looked down at the most beautiful sight I've ever seen in my life, as I saw my wife asleep with that sweet angelic look. So here's a question for you. To look at your role and where you are right now, are you a great actor in a terrible play? Or are you a terrible actor in a great play? Are you in business or in busyness? The challenge with HR, being at the table, you're so busy doing everything, you don't have time to do what matters most. The past doesn't equal the future. No, but what does the past equal? The present, right? The past makes you who you are today. If you want a different future, what do you got to do? Change something, right? So that's the important thing. If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. But if you do what you've always done, you'll be who you've always been too, right? All organizations are perfectly designed for the results that they're getting, right? That's the culture. You look at the results, and you go backwards from there. The results come from whatever is going on in the company. So if you want to change the results, what do you got to do? You got to change the structure, don't you? You got to change the design. Clients even tell us, well, we've already cut to the bone. We've cut all non-essential employees. Well, here's a thought. If they're not essential, why the heck did you have them to start with? No wonder you're not profitable. There's nothing soft about soft skills. Okay? There's just soft people, right? When you look at that, communication, what's soft about communication? Right? But that falls into those categories, doesn't it? And they'll say, well, tell me how you measure some of your soft skills. I know how to measure your lack of them. So that's what they ask. All I have to do is show that right now you're in the tank, and I get you out of the tank. That's how I measure my soft skills, because they're not soft. Organizations are only made up of two things, made up of systems and people. So if you look, you got systems and people, you got to understand this. You manage systems and you lead people. How many of you want somebody to manage you? Okay. We all say, could you help me manage my people? Well, the problem is you're over-managing your people. You need to lead your people, manage the system. When you say you want to be invited to the table, I want to share with you, some of you don't want to be at the table. It's a scary place at that table, because I'm going to ask you to pony up and deliver. That's what I want. I don't know how you're going to do it. That's what you do. You do what you do. Okay, I got enough other things. You are my partner. That's my number one partner for success. I don't know what we're going to do yet. I know what we're not going to do, and that's what you've been doing, but I don't know what we're going to do yet. I don't have a plan, but in this room a plan exists, and a strategy exists, and nobody's been listening, so I'm going to listen. But I only have one rule, and here's the rule. If you don't do this, you're fired. And you had to put that on your desk in your line of sight. You were allowed to see your family pictures, but in one of the eyes, you better be seeing this. And it said, if you don't grow, you go.